Today we will study about the type of ionic crystal AB and the example is zinc sulfide. Now here the red ball represents the sulfide ion and yellow ball represents the zinc ion. Now sulfide ion is placed at FCC position, which means all the corner as well as the face centered positions are occupied by the sulfide ion. Now where is the position of the zinc ion? Zinc ion is placed at 1/4 distance from the alternate corners on the body diagonal. Now let us have the view for their positions. Here red ball represents the position of the sulfide ion. Sulfide ion occupies all the corners of the unit cell as well as the face centered position. All the corners 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the back side 5, 6, 7, 8 and all the face centered position. Sulfide ion occupies all the corner as well as the face centered position. It means it is arranged in FCC positions. Now where is the position of the zinc ion? Zinc ion is placed at 1/4 distance from the corner, this corner and this zinc ion. It is placed, let us observe from the top. This zinc ion is placed at 1/4 distance from this corner. Now the zinc ion along this diagonal from this carbon is absent. Now let us select this corner. From this corner at 1/4 distance another zinc ion is placed. Now what about this corner? Along this diagonal zinc ion from this corner is absent. Let us answer a few questions. How many longest body diagonals are there in a cubic unit cell? There are 4 longest diagonal in a cubic unit cell. Body diagonal is formed when a corner is present in the bottom is linked to the respective corner, opposite corner placed on the top layer. For example, if this ball is linked with this ball, a diagonal will be formed. This diagonal will be formed and that diagonal is known as body diagonal. And total longest body diagonals are there. Actually 4 longest body diagonals are there in a cubic unit cell and each contains 2 tetrahedral void. So total number of tetrahedral void present in this unit cell is 8. But all the tetrahedral voids are not occupied by the zinc ion. Zinc ion is only occupying half of the tetrahedral voids that are created inside the unit cell. So half of 8 comes out to be 4. Therefore there are only 4 zinc ion which are placed inside this unit cell and each zinc ion is placed at 1/4 distance along the longest diagonal from the alternate corners only. See here along this diagonal at 1/4 distance zinc ion is absent. If we take this corner, zinc ion is present. Now let's next see the top layer. Along this longest diagonal zinc ion is absent. This is diagonal on which at the base there is an present zinc ion is present. From this top it is absent at 1/4 position, but from the bottom layer at this corner 1/4 distance zinc ion is present. Now next we take this corner. From this corner, along this corner, this is the longest diagonal. At 1/4 distance from the corner this another zinc ball is present. So here it is absent. From this corner it is present. From this corner it is absent and from this corner again it is present. It means zinc ion occupies only at 1/4 distance from alternate corners on the body diagonal. So only half of the tetrahedral voids will be occupied. Now let us count the number of atoms per unit cell in this unit cell. Number of sulfide ion per unit cell will be, there are 8 corners in this cubic unit cell and they are occupied by the sulfide ion. So 1/8 of 8 comes out to be 1. It means the number of sulfide ion contributed from the corner comes out to be 1. There are total 6 phases and each phase center position is occupied by the sulfide ion, and phase is common between 2 unit cell, and that is why 1/2 of 6 will give you 3. 3 sulfide ion contributed from FCC position, that is phase centered position. The 3 plus 1 comes out to be 4. So total number of sulfide ion per unit cell in this unit cell is 4. Now let us count the number of zinc ion present per unit cell. Since zinc ion occupies the 1/4 distance along the body diagonal, and body diagonals are isolated to a particular unit cell only. They are not common between 2 unit cell, and that is why all the 4 atom zinc ion present in this cubic unit cell, which is placed inside the unit cell, and that is why they are isolated to this particular unit cell only. So the number of zinc ion per unit cell comes out to be 4 because they are placed inside the unit cell and that space is not common between 2 unit or any other unit cell. So the number of zinc ion per unit cell is 4 and number of sulfide ion per unit cell is 4. So the ratio of zinc ion to the sulfide ion comes out to be 4:4. That is nothing but 1:1, and the formula of the compound will be ZnS, and this is also an example of AB type of unit cell. Now let us understand the coordination number of each ion in this unit cell. Now here, suppose we consider this zinc ion. Now zinc ion is occupying tetrahedral void, and that is why the coordination number of zinc ion is 4. If a particle occupies the tetrahedral void, it will be surrounded by 4 neighboring particles placed at the corners of the 4 corners of the tetrahedron. Now see the example. In this example, suppose we consider this yellow ball. Consider this yellow ball which is placed at 1/4 distance from this corner. This is 1/4 distance. It means this one will be the nearest neighbor. Now next atom, sulfide ion, is present. This red ball is present at the face centered position of this unit cell. Now can you tell me this corner is common between how many phases? This corner is common between 3 phases. First top one and 2 walls that are created by 2 walls, y-axis and x-axis, xy. It means this plane, we are talking about this plane, another one, this plane, and the next one is the top plane. So this corner is common between how many phases? This corner is common between 3 phases. So locate the 3 atoms which are present, or the 3 sulfide ion which are present at the face centered position. This one, another face centered, this one, and this face centered atom, which are the ion, sulfide ion, which are present at the face centered position of the 3 phases that is common for this corner. This corner is common between 3 phases. Let us understand again. This one is the top phase, this is the side phase, and this one is side phase along y-axis, and this one is the side phase along x-axis. This is one phase, and this one is the face centered atom. This is along y-axis phase, this is the face centered atom, and this is the top phase, and this one is the face centered sulfide ion. So there are 3 phase centered. This corner is common between 3 phases, and each phase contain one sulfide ion placed at the phase centered position, and that is why this yellow ball will be surrounded by 4 neighboring atoms, 3 sulfide ion present at the phase centered positions of the 3 phases which are common for this corner, and 4th atom is this corner atom itself. So this bond is surrounded by 4 neighboring atom, 1 corner and 3 phase centered sulfide ion. See this one phase centered, 2 phase centered, and this is 3 phase centered. So 3, this one, and this is the corner atom. And this is the position of the tetrahedral void. It is surrounded by 4 corners, 1, 2, 3 and 4. These are the 4 sulfide ion which are surrounding this particular zinc ion. Hence the coordination number of this zinc ion will be 4. So, and you know that it is occupying the tetrahedral void, and that is why this space will be surrounded by 4 atoms, and they are placed at the corners of the tetrahedron. So this zinc ion is common. The coordination number of zinc ion comes out to be 4. It is surrounded by 4 sulfide ion. Now let us consider the coordination number of this corner, that is sulfide ion. Now each corner is common between how many unit cell? Each corner is common between 8 unit cell, and you know that it means there can be 8 diagonals which can be drawn from this corner in different 8 unit cell. And since zinc ion is occupying only the alternate diagonals, it is placed only at the alternate diagonals. It means half of the diagonals will be occupied out of 8 diagonals that can be formed by this corner atom, which is common between different 8 unit cell. Only 4 diagonals, at only 4 diagonals the zinc ion will be placed. Only half of the diagonals are occupied. It means this corner will be surrounded by 4 zinc ion that are placed at the diagonals of respective 8 unit cell. 8 unit cell में इस कॉर्नर को कॉमन रख के 8 डायगोनल बनेंगे. उनमें से सिर्फ 4 ही डायगोनल पे यहाँ से 1/4 डिस्टेंस पे जिंक आयन पाया जाएगा, बाकी के डायगोनल्स पे नहीं पाया जाएगा. क्यों? क्योंकि बस अल्टरनेट डायगोनल्स पे इस सेल में भी ये कितने डायगोनल्स पे ऑक्युपाइड है? अल्टरनेट. यहाँ से देखिए 1/4 पोजीशन पे एब्सेंट है, जबकि टेट्राहेड्रल वॉइड यहाँ भी बनता है, लेकिन यहाँ ऑक्युपाई नहीं है. ओनली हाफ ऑफ द टेट्राहेड्रल वॉइड्स आर ऑक्युपाइड. इट मीन्स इट जिंक आयन इज प्लेस्ड एट 1/4 डिस्टेंस फ्रॉम द अल्टरनेट कॉर्नर्स. यहाँ एब्सेंट है, यहाँ प्रेजेंट है, यहाँ एब्सेंट है, तो यहाँ प्रेजेंट है 1/4 डिस्टेंस पे. तो ये कॉर्नर को कॉमन रख के हम 8 डायगोनल बना सकते हैं 8 अलग अलग यूनिट सेल में. 8 diagonals can be formed from in 3-dimensional space because this corner is common between 8 unit cell. So we can form 8 diagonals, but only half of the diagonals will be 1/4 distance of the only half of the diagonal will be occupied by the zinc ion. It means the zinc ion सिर्फ कितने diagonals के 1/4 पोजीशन पे प्रेजेंट मिलेगा? हाफ पे. तो 8 का हाफ हो गया 4. So this corner will be surrounded by how many zinc ion? Yellow ball. Only 4. So the coordination number of this sulfide ion will also be 4. It means in this unit cell, each zinc ion is surrounded by 4 sulfide ion, and each sulfide ion will be surrounded by 4 zinc ion placed at 1/4 distance from the corner on only alternate diagonals. So the coordination number of zinc ion is 4, as well as the coordination number of sulfide ion is also 4. Each zinc ion will be surrounded by 4 sulfide ion, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and each sulfide ion will also be surrounded by 4 zinc ion which are placed in the 4 different unit cell surrounding this. Out of 8 unit cells surrounding this corner, only 4 unit cell, in 4 unit cell, 1/4 distance, at 1/4 distance, this sulfide ion will be, zinc ion will be present, and that is why the coordination number of this corner will also be 4. Thank you.